Hey guys, it's the Drabble Geek here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where we are continuing Farewell My Turnabout, and we just left the detention center after getting Matt to agree to be our client. So I believe this time we are actually going to be investigating instead of just getting the introduction to the case like we did last time. Well, at least we were able to get Mr. Matt on guard as our client, and we know that he didn't do it, which is very important. So now what should we do? Well, the trial is tomorrow. We only get this one chance. There's only one way to prove Mr. Onguard's innocence. We have to find the real killer. Okay, then let's start looking. She really looks like she's about to hit someone. I don't think we need to go to the detention center unless we need to ask him more questions, I suppose. Hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't come in without... Good morning. Hold on, it's you. What is going on around here? Why are you still here? I heard poor Juan was killed. Is that true? It's a bad return is what this is. Another steel samurai doing the most evil of deeds. You know... That's not entirely. I'll have you know that I was a huge fan of Juan's. Why, oh why, do all the stars I'm interested in drop one by one like flies? I've always... Hamster in his cage, Queen Reaper, I swear that's what they dubbed me. Whoever you name dies. Actually, I wanted to ask you about the murder and what happened. Don't push me, boy. Mr. Nick? I couldn't hear everything she said, because she was talking too fast. Miss Oldbag, could you please speak a little slower? Don't boss me around, you spiky-haired smarty pants. Okay, let's talk to her, I suppose. My dear Hammer died a year ago in that dreadful murder, and only recently did I find a star that makes my heart go ba-dump again. I don't know what to say. I ask you, why does every star I cheer for always end up kicking the bucket? I watch your words. No one's going to get away with saying anything bad about my Juan. But I haven't said anything. Well, I don't believe a word that woman says anyway. Huh? What woman? That irritating backwater girl with the afro and the horrible country accent. I mean, what is that manner of speaking supposed to be? And why does she never stop? Honestly, women these days, they don't know the meaning of the word modesty. When I was a young maiden, I was so beautiful, and despite this, I pressed flowers, read the stars. Pearls? Are you thirsty? A little. Okay, I'll get you some juice or something. Thank you very much. Hey, are you paying attention? Youngins today. No, 'cause you went on some long monologue that no one cares about. So I'm guessing Miss Oldback heard everything from Lotta. I want to ask you about what happened around the time of the murder. I don't know anything about that. I was here getting ready. Getting ready? For what? The show, of course. Well, and the press conference afterward. Cue mysterious music for the magical press conference. Anyway, I don't know anything about the murder. I see. But if you're talking about what I saw, that's different. I saw it very clearly. What? I saw the most important moment of the night. The most important moment? You don't mean... Oh, so now you treat me with respect, you disrespectful child. When you speak to your elders, you should always be polite. Really, kids today. Please tell me, what did you see? Really? The murder last night was gruesome, wasn't it? But then, what murder isn't? Why are you lying about something stupid like this? Please don't stray onto another tangent, please. If you want to hear more, then show your respect and bring this lady a present. What? I have no clue where this is even starting. Right. Alright, I'll be honest with you for now. Then please tell us what you saw. But aw, what a waste. And here I have perfectly good chance to have a little fun at your youngin's expense. I am a little devil after all. Doesn't that imply you aren't a good person? Alright, I'll give you what you want. I'm going to assume that it's a picture of Juan. That's what it was last time. Trying to investigate and gather more clues. Because last time, that's what she wanted. The hall. Looks like the investigation is still in full swing. The hotel staff and the police are running around like a bunch of headless chickens. I wonder if we can do any investigating of our own in this kind of atmosphere. Well, gotta roll up the sleeves and try, I guess. I don't think anything's gonna be in there. Hey, you're here. Been waiting for you, Mr. Lawyer. Lotta. Hey, Mr. Cop fella. The thief showed his face. What? Arrest him. Put him on the trial. Find him guilty. Give him the death penalty. What's wrong, Lotta? Are you feeling alright? Looked here and there and up and down the mountain, but it ain't here. So why don't you hurry up and give it back to me, you creep? What are you looking for? My camera. C-A-M-E-R-A. It's my lifeblood. I'm going to die without my $700 camera. Your camera? Look, don't lots of people say the criminal always goes back to the scene of the crime? And looky, here ya are. Yep, here I am, faced with a lot of trouble. Huh? Why does she think that I stole her camera? Is it Zipper Face? So you lost your camera. It ain't no ordinary camera. You buy it in a store and it's $1,600 brand new. But didn't you just say you bought it for $700? I had a nice long talk with the guy at the store. About 5 hours, I reckon. Made this itty-bitty scratch on it, and the manager got all huffed up in the face. He gave me this talking to and was real mean about it, too. He done made me cry at that. When did you lose your camera? Last night, after the murder happened. Let me guess, you have a picture on that camera that will solve this entire case. Must have been when I was busy running around looking into things. That's when I lost sight of my dear, darling, expensive sweetie. Lotta, what did you capture with that expensive camera of yours? I don't rightly know. I stopped a shot of anything that caught my eye. So I don't remember. Besides, I couldn't get anything for my big scoop. Wonder if Lotta's missing camera is even connected to the murder. Probably. Knowing her. Lotta, please tell me what you know about what happened at the time of the murder. Well, from before the ceremony last night, I was hanging around here in this area. Yeah, actually it was here until around the time Mr. Ongard was arrested. What were you doing here? You sure you went to school, city boy? Wherever Lotta Hart goes, there's a story to be found, a big scoop to be had. A big scoop? I told you before, I'm going to be the best tabloid photographer the world's ever seen. Reckon, course, that means I'm always looking for the perfect shot. Wonder what scoop she was after this time. Although, I was on the lookout for the other stars that were here, so maybe I wasn't here the entire time? Great. Lotta, are you sure you weren't here the entire time? So you could take a picture for your big scoop? Well, maybe I was, but that's what real journalists do. I got some juicy inside info, so I thought to myself, why not get a picture for proof? What kind of story was it that you would hang around here? Really? Well, at least she only has 2, unlike the other chickadee. Oops, sorry, Mr. Lawyer. Can't be telling you that. Trade secrets, you know. Not again. Why does everyone have something to hide? We've been stopped, haven't we? Haha, yeah, take that, Mr. Lawyer. I'm glad someone around here is happy. Miss Lotta and your eye rule smile. My thing is I have... What does she want? Because I'm going to assume that old bag wants a picture of Juan or like something related to him. Lotta, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room? I told you, didn't I, for my scoop. What I want to know about are the details of the scoop. That's not something I can tell you. I mean, there's my bread and butter. Alright then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Juan Carta and this person? That's the only thing I can think of. Who the heck is that? You think us journalists are all a bunch of idiots? You can't fool me. I'm a pro. Interesting. Oh, really? So who's this person anyway? If you're such a pro, why don't you have your own research and figure it out? Okay. Interesting. I don't think I have enough evidence yet. Okay, I know the game wants me to be mad, but that actually answered a whole lot more than I think it wanted to, by me being wrong. Right. Let's go into the victim's room first. What kind of nonsense is this? Mr. Nick, where are we? We're in Mr. Juan Corda's room, Pearls. Mr. Corda? The victim, which makes this the crime scene too. Oh, it's you. So, what happened? The kidnapper, has he contacted you again? Not yet. Probably won't until we win Mr. Onguard's acquittal. You doing okay, pal? Hanging in there? Just want Maya to be alright. We don't have a lot of time left. I'm going to help you as much as I can, pal. Oh, thank you. Can you do that, even if we want to look around the crime scene? Just this once. Special circumstances, right, pal? I'll even tell you everything I know, but you gotta keep quiet. It's my neck on the line here. Thank you. Oh, that's right. I got you a map of the hotel, pal. Here you go, little missy. Wow, you're giving it to me? Thank you. Wouldn't want you to get lost in a hotel too big for its own good. Mr. Nick, I got a map. That's great, Pearls. But Mr. Nick, I can't read what it says. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, let's look at this map. Okay, oops, sorry. I hit my mic. So I guess it's only this hall, that we can see via. Do you know what was the cause of death? Well, technically the final autopsy report isn't out yet, but one look at the victim should tell you, pal. It should? Yeah, here's a picture. Ooh. That looks real bad. There's a knife in his chest. Yeah, pal, that's the murder weapon. So he was stabbed to death. They're looking at the fingerprints down at the lab right now. There are fingerprints on the knife? Yep. And it looks like they're pretty sure they're Mr. Onguard's prints, pal. That's bad. Real bad. Why was Mr. Onguard arrested? Because we had evidence on him. Evidence? It looked like the victim, Juan Carta, really put up a big fight. Yeah, one look at the crime scene and you can tell. There's signs of a struggle everywhere. Well, yeah, during the fight his button came off. Mr. Onguard said something about a button. Something like one of the Jammin' Ninja buttons got caught in his hakakama. But that's not all. What? There was a witness, pal. Who, Lotta? A witness? Who is it? That lady, Miss Oldbag. Please, anyone but her. The prosecution has plenty of evidence to make a solid case. Not to mention there's something around where the Vic was a little off. Something that's a little off, as in that's for you to figure out, pal. Alright, let's try to figure out, Mr. Nick. Alright, let's examine, I suppose, and get away from all those creepy bears. It's a beautiful wine glass and there's tomato juice in it. Ew, tomato juice. I don't really like it much. There's a bottle of it on the table over there. That's probably where this came from. But doesn't it seem weird? What seems weird? I mean, everything else is scattered all over the floor. Yeah, she was right. The flower vase was broken and the makeup was strewn everywhere. Why is this glass the only thing that's still alright? Probably had something to do with after the fact. Maybe. It looked like Mr. Carter had dinner last night. This bottle is tomato juice. We had a lot of food at the awards show last night. But I wonder if the stars had gone on stage after only eating a meager meal like this. That does seem like a bit. Bottles of cosmetics are scattered all over the floor. This is probably where Mr. Carter fought his assailant. What are these bits of glass from? Flower vase, maybe. There are flowers on the floor, but I don't know what they are. You don't know much about flowers, do you, Mr. Nick? Also, his guitar is still missing. This is a guitar case, I guess. A little beat up, but still usable. That's strange, the guitar is not here. Maybe he forgot to bring it to the show. But Mystic Maya, she said the bright red guitar was the Jammin' Ninja signature item. That's true, which means Juan wouldn't have had to bring it himself. Probably his manager would have brought it. Huh? The guitar case is wet. It is only wet on the top of the lid. Yeah, there's no water inside the case. This is water, isn't it? If you say so, kid. So notice this phone is on the ground. So that's a bed, right? Yep, it's big, but it's a bed. Mr. Nick is so soft. Big beds must be a rarity for her. Okay, I'm not really interested in that. Although I do want to know what is his thing with these bears. Do I have anything to show him? I can ask him why this is wet. What can you tell me about this guitar case? Oh, that's just what I heard, pal. But that's the Jammin' Ninja signature item. The guitar case? No, not that. What do you take me as? I mean the guitar inside, of course. But the guitar is missing. Yeah, we looked for it too. It's not normal for a person to forget to bring their most famous item to an award show. Sorry to sound like the red guitar is related to this case after all. Ask him about this. So about this wine glass. So you noticed it, pal? The whole crime scene was a mess, but this glass was the only thing that was untouched. You noticed that too, Detective Gumshoe? No, actually Miss Von Karma noticed it first. Yeah, Pearls noticed it before me too. Hey, wait a minute. So does that mean Miss Von Karma's here at the hotel? Yeah, she is around. Man, you're going to be in so much trouble, pal. But actually, if she catches you in here, well, you can bet the instant I see her, I'll be running the 1,000-meter dash. But what's that beeping noise, Mr. Nick? Probably the transceiver again. It's Miss Von Karma. Huh? For some reason, whenever I hear that sound, she pops out of nowhere and whips me. Come to think of it, that's exactly what happened the last time. Sorry, I gotta make myself scarce. Later, pal. Yow. At last, you reveal your true nature, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Would it be too much to ask for you to be nice to me for a change? So you're the type to steal information from pitiful, hopeless detectives. That's dishonorable of you. Ow. Hey, don't you dare run away, Scruffy McTrenchcoat. I didn't think the detectives of this country could be this pitiful. Detective, come over here for a second. Ouch. I feel better knowing at least you were man enough to face your punishment. He was so scared he just froze up on the spot. Mr. Phoenix Wright, you have soiled my perfect prosecution record. I'll never forget that. This time, victory is mine. Victory is yours? Is that all this means to you? What? Come, Scruffy, the investigation briefing is about to begin. Yes, sir. This isn't over yet. I swear on my family's honor. Ow, what'd she throw at me now? What is this? Well, I guess this means I gotta get back to the precinct now, pal. If you ever need me, come down to the Criminal Affairs Department, alright? And if you can, try not to let Miss Von Karma see you. Seriously, what does she throw at me? I'm guessing it's this thing? Mr. Nick, what's this piece of paper? It's called an autograph. Autograph? The paper's got Mr. Corda's name written on it, so it's his autograph. Can't read it at all. To be honest, I've never seen writing that looks like this. It's a special way of writing called cursive. Look here, see how it says "to my dearest Wendy" in more normal letters here? This sloppy, unreadable writing? It's crazy and cruel to give this to someone. Hold on. Wendy, I heard that name somewhere before. Yeah. I wonder where. What? So maybe this was where all the makeup came from? It's a suitcase. There's so many things in it, I barely bet it closes. There's his clothes, a dryer, an electric saver, a calculator. Do all stars pack too much stuff like our Mr. Corda? Maybe. Why does he also have like a rice cooker? Wow, there's a lot of bears. Alarm clock ones, collector editions, stuffed teddies, plastic models. It's pretty overwhelming. Is there a kind of bear he doesn't have? There's even a few in the trash can. Yeah, you get the feeling maybe the guy didn't really like bears. Poor teddies. It's hard to bear with all these problems. Growl. Can we not talk about this dude? I don't think I want to bear with the trauma that last case caused me. Neither do I. What's wrong, Mr. Nick? I don't know. Let's move over to the next room. Where are we? We're in Mr. Matt Ongart's dressing room. This is our client's room. May I help you with something? You're Mr. Ongart's lawyer, correct? I gathered as much. I also look for lawyers on my end, but to no avail. How did you know I'm his lawyer? You were just saying that he is your client. In a situation like this, the only person who would use such a word would be his lawyer. Wow. It's a simple deduction, really. The trial is tomorrow, and Mr. Ongart's situation is looking rather grim. So you came here, one stop in your mad dash, to find clues to build his case, correct? Well, you're not totally right, but you're not totally off either. It's really not the time to be showing off, Mr. Nick. I am Adrian Andrews. I hate to waste time, so let's get down to business. Alright. She may be of a small stature, but appearances can be deceiving. I assume the first thing you need to know is what everyone was doing that night, correct? Yes, that is correct. Then I will tell you. Before the awards ceremony, I had dinner with Mr. Ongard. Is that a shell in her hand? Like a card of a shell? In this very room, I might add. Dinner? What did you eat? I told you, I hate to waste time with trifling details. If you take a look at the table yourself, you wouldn't need to ask me. I bet she's a lot of fun at parties. When the awards show was starting, I headed for Voila Hall. And after the show ended, you came back to this room? No, I had some small errands to run. I helped with the preparations in the lobby. Oh, preparations for the post-ceremony show, I guess. When it was time for the post-ceremony show, I came back to call for Mr. Ongard. After that, I went to visit Mr. Cardada. And that's when you found his body, isn't it? You really held strong through everything. Yeah, she does seem to be mentally tough as nails. So about you and stop right there. You aren't seriously about to ask how Mr. OnGuard and I are related, are you? Sorry? I have no idea how he could choose you as his lawyer. Why did he have to go and say something like that? Mr. Nick, calm down and hang in there. I'll give you a shoulder rub to relieve your stress later, alright? I already gave you my name earlier, but I'll add that I'm Mr. OnGuard's manager. His manager? Speaking of managers, did the victim, Mr. Cordata, have one? No, he did not. He didn't. Global Studios has a very different policy from Worldwide Studios in that Worldwide Studios does not assign individual managers to their stars. I see. This industry is very ruthless and unforgiving. Actually, you look quite ruthless and unforgiving yourself to your poor partner. Dragging a little girl like her to places like this? Honestly, you're wrong. I'm doing this to help Mystic Maya. Pearls, calm down and hang in there. Buy you a juice later, alright? Guess I'll ask her questions about Miles and Juan. I asked to become Mr. OnGuard's manager. It's a pleasure to manage with this nice disposition. Mr. OnGuard does seem like a rather weak-willed man, always doing as he's told. He's always saying, my manager, right, Mr. Nick? Did you know the victim, Mr. Corda? Yes, I knew him. The world is such a small place after all. Did you know about his rivalry with the Nickel Samurai? Honestly, they were like children when it came to that. Time and time again, those two competed with each other over the most trivial things. If either one of them wasn't so stubborn, then maybe no one would have needed to die. I've got a hunch that this woman knows more than she's letting on. She must know why Juan Corda was killed. Yeah. There we go. Do you have any ideas as to why Mr. Corda was murdered? Why would you ask me about such a thing? I'm just doing my job. So, do you have any ideas? Is everyone I speak with going to have this stuff? Miss Andrews? Sorry, but there's nothing more I have to add to this conversation. Is it a Psylocke, Mr. Nick? Yes. There's getting to be more and more of these lately. Let me figure out what the first thing I need to figure out is. Let's see. Why was Juan Corda murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. OnGuard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corda. You were not that close? That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person. Yeah, I don't... So her being intimate with someone? Is she sleeping with Matt? There's a giant bone sitting on the plate. I don't really like meat. There's something weird about this plate. I just wish I could put my finger on what it is. Looks like dishes left over from dinner, or dinner for two at that. I'm sure they're Mr. OnGuard and Miss Andrews' plate. Looks like they had T-bone steaks. What's with Global Studios and T-bone steaks? Wait, where's the knife? So, someone took the knife from them eating, probably put gloves on, and then stabbed Cordata. That's what I'm thinking. There's some samurai-looking clothes on the sofa here. I think the jacket-looking thing is called a hoppy. Whatever it is, I'm sure something like that would make a great souvenir. Maya would be absolutely thrilled. Really, I can't take a look at that. Probably Mr. Ongart's suitcase for someone who was only going to be here for the awards show. This is a lot of stuff. Looks like he was about 3 days worth of clothes in here. Stores really are different from us, aren't they? That's the bedroom over there. That's a bed? Wow, they have really big beds here. Oh, so she doesn't jump on this one. Okay, yeah, so they stole his knife from his meal. That's something, I suppose. Alright. So I think the next thing... Ask, Wendy about the letter we have. Oh, Mr. Wright, how are you? Mr. Powers, have you been here the entire time? Yeah, people connected to the murder aren't allowed to go home, let alone leave. Can you tell me a little more about the Nickel Samurai TV show? Okay. The Nickel Samurai is an action hero program aimed towards kids. It's a sequel to the Steel Samurai. I see. This time there are 3 samurai brothers. Aluminum Samurai, Tin Samurai, and of course the Nickel Samurai. It's a love Y, and... Are they trying to say it's like a love triangle? It's a love Y in Neo Old Tokyo. I see. Wait. A love what? A love Y. This girl, Sayo, works at the tea shop, and all 3 guys fall for her at the same time. Oh, I guess the Y shape is like the 3 brothers colliding over this one girl. Anyway, Sayo's actually the daughter of the evil Strawberry Clan's leader. Sounds like an unusual situation, like Romeo and Juliet, ×3. Yeah. Strange thing is, this sort of forbidden love story is really big with the office ladies. Yes, Pearl? What happens next? I want to know. Does Miss Sayo fall in love? She does, doesn't she? Every Sunday at 8 a.m. I'm going to stop watching Kids Masterpiece Theater starting this week. I can't believe she's really considering it. So, what's the Jammin' Ninja TV show like? It started from a remake of an old movie to tell you the truth. Jammin' Ninja, like the samurai shows, is geared towards kids. It's the story of a ninja who can't scale a wall, but became a big pop star anyway. What? It was a really lousy ninja. Absolutely couldn't do any ninja things right at all. But boy, could he sing. With his trusty bright red guitar in hand, he took the ancient world by storm. A ninja with a bright red guitar. And then the final fight in front of his beloved Princess Misola. Jammin' versus the Muramachi 5. Suddenly, our brave hero catches a not-so-jammin' cold the night before Battle 3. That's too bad for him. Yeah. But this kind of pop music-based love story is something high school girls really like. Yeah, it sounds like one of those Vocaloid or music animes. Yes, Pearl? What happens next? I want to know. The Jammin' Ninja. Will he be able to sing? What about Princess Misola? Every Sunday at 8 a.m. What show should I watch? Can't believe she's really considering it. I think you should have Nick DVR one of them. Watch one of them Sunday, and then you can watch the other one the next day. Do I have anything for him? No. Do I want to ask him any? Maybe I can ask who she is. Hey, that's Miss Andrews. She's Matt's manager. Actually, I was interested in her for a little bit. Just a little. So Mr. Powers likes this type of woman? What do you know about Miss Andrews? Well, see, here's the thing. I don't really know her, you know? There's sort of a small rumor going about her right now. A rumor? If you're interested, I'd be glad to share what I know. He's so happy, he looks like a lion's just found his next meal. Is this the, thing Lotta was talking about? Would you mind telling me about this gossip? So you are interested in it. I figured you would be. Yeah. Such a weakness for celebrity gossip, too. Oh, really? You too, huh? Yeah, take a look at this. Looks like a tabloid Miss Oldbag would read. Alright, let's see here. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous? To the mysterious and yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss A.A. You see now, don't you? What? You can't stop pretending to be in the dark, Mr. Wright. Juan Carta didn't have a manager of his own. Which means if we're talking about a certain manager with the initials AA... Adrian Andrews. Yes, exactly. This is big news. But it seems kind of odd, that woman, Miss Andrews, together with the biggest rival of her client. It's a wonderful thing that can only happen between two people. Mr. Powers looks so happy. Pearls is just following along, not having any idea as to why he's smiling. Well, like the saying goes, one man's garbage is another man's treasure. Interesting. Let me ask some more questions. Wait, can I read that? A superstar with an ultra-hot mega secret love scandal? Reliable sources say that Juan Carta has been getting in close with the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars. Okay, let me ask about these other characters. Matt's younger than me, but you can practically see his star potential. His star potential? I got his autograph the other day. Feels kinda wrong now, doesn't it? I don't care what people say. Matt didn't kill Tuan. I know he didn't. He debuted around the same time as Matt and everything, you know? Really? It started out small. First it was singing contests, then swimming competitions, then it was bowling tournaments, and then it was who could throw the best New Year's parties. Juan was always trying to one-up Matt. But lately, those two were escalating to more and more dangerous things. I thought that no good would come of it at all, so I began to worry. Too bad Juan's story ended so soon. I'm actually gonna go back to Lotta instead of... instead of going to Wendy right now. I feel like they'll probably ask me who and then how did I know, and I show the article, I think. I think that's how it's going to go. Lotta, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you lording around the victim's room? I told you, didn't I? For my scoop. What do you want to know about the details? What I want to know about are the details of the scoop. That's not something I can tell you. I mean, there's my bread and butter. Alright then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Tuan Cordata and this person, his manager? This woman. She's Adrian Andrews, Matt Ongart's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager, caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jammin' Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it? You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't just make up any old thing and think will make the papers. Gotta have backup. Backup? Yeah, you gotta have that, what's it, news sauce? You mean news source? That's it? So show me something that shows that one guy had something with Miss Andrews. Wouldn't it be this magazine clipping? This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous. To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss A.A. Ugh. Mr. Cordata didn't have a manager of his own. What more, his rival, Mr. Engart's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials AA. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Cordata's room last night. There we go. Oh, this was really interesting so far. You were looking into Mr. Cordata and Mrs. Andrews' affair, weren't you? You got it. I was going to get myself a scoop by catching them in a secret meeting. But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news. Would you just say? Her initials are AA. What kind of vague thing is that? That ain't proof nothing. People are going to want to see real proof. Well, at least I do. So that's what I was doing, getting photos. Oh. I'm going to whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story. Wow, a lot of nice journalistic integrity you got there. I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know. But the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, it's gone. Your note to yourself? It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I come here for my big story, didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me. Yeah, I understand. It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell ya. What's with people now anyway? Never thought I'd see the day when someone done steals something from me. You really want that note back, huh? I've got no idea why, though. The story on that note's probably a bold-faced lie. Alright, let's go back to... I guess now I want to talk to Wendy, see if... Although now I am wondering if I have enough for her. Because I only have that one thing she wants. But seriously, why does she have 4? Even Mia only had 3. Alright, I'll be honest with you for now. Then please, tell us what you saw. But aw, what a waste. And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun with you youngin's expense. I am a little devil after all. Alright, I'll give you what you want. That's Swan's autograph. Yes, it is. And it even says, "To my dearest Wendy" on it. That's me, right? Right? Maybe? I don't know. My name is Wendy Oldbag, so that Wendy has to be me, right? Well, it may say Wendy, but somehow I don't think Quan had this Wendy in mind when he signed it. Oh, please, give it to me. Let me have it, please. Can't just let you have it, just like that. Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange? Wow, she must really want this autograph. My offer isn't good enough for you. Fine, Mr. Wright, you win. Wendy Oldbag, ready to open her heart, all for my dearest John. Wow, that... Okay, I knew that she wanted like an autograph or picture or something, but I wasn't expecting her to give up the beans this fast. I feel bad for you now. Huh? I'll tell you, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Juan's room. You're kidding. Let me guess, in the costume. Which you can't prove anything because he was in a costume. This has happened several times. Oh no. It was about 10 minutes before Juan's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet, minding my own business. And? Did you tell that to the police? Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or 2 out of it. Maybe more. Gift certificate? I've been recruited again for the part at the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. This time, you're going to get it. I'm going to work hard to get your client pronounced guilty. Mr. Angard hasn't done anything bad. I don't care about details like that. I know he did my dear poor Fwan in. I just do. That yellow-bellied chicken. Yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like. I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it. What did Mr. Angard ever do to her to deserve this? What did Mr. Angard do to make you so... You don't know? That guy, he framed my Juan. He created that scandal that plagued poor Juan. Mr. Nick? What is it? What's a scandal? Oh, I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay? Poor Juan, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress. Mr. Nick, what do viles and wild temptress mean? How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, Pearls? I don't want to explain this to, how old is she, like 5 or 6? So, Miss Oldbag, who is this woman you're talking about? Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy, he shoved the girl into Juan on purpose. His own manager. But why? Not lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Juan lose face. That girl drove Juan into a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud. Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag? I'm one of Juan's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know. Do you have proof that Mr. Angard did what you say he did? Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so. Of course, a tabloid. Next week. Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet? Why would Miss Oldbag have information like that? And where did she get it? She probably has a lot of, camera. He. Do you have her camera? I don't have anything to say to delinquents like you. Please, anything would be helpful. Well then, how about I tell you my measurements? No, that's okay, really. She really doesn't like you, does she, Mr. Nick? I know. She has something from next week's tabloid, which means she has Lotta's camera. That's what that means. Let's go back upstairs and talk to Andrews. If she's still here. I don't think I have everything for her. Cause I just feel like was going to be a lot harder than Wendy anyways. And I haven't actually gone to all the places suggested. If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. I've never been intimate with another person. You and Mr. Cordata had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article? If you even have half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into this story. As you expected in a world full of crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on her good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Me? Need to get close to Mr. Cordata, as if it were ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Cordata for this person's sake? Do you really still not understand? It's called a job. Okay. If it wasn't him, that's interesting. Alright, we have more places to go, so that's fine. Go to the lobby. Let's go to the Criminal Affairs Department, where the Blue Badger still sits. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing. Yeah. Oh, he's back. Hey, so you came, pal? Why the blunt greeting? Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight. But we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. So what do you mean the evidence is airtight? Can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces. Two? And both of them are in this photo. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the button that you found during your body search. How does something like that large just get stuck? Yep, I found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai special pants. And the second one is the knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact. Fingerprints? Whose are they? You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Matt On-Guard's. Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Well, we know where the knife came from, so that's not a matter. Just have to worry about the button. So what's this about airtight testimony? It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag. I thought so. What do you mean, you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal? Well, even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone. Her blab knob is stuck on Tim. There's no turning it down. Trust me. Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. On-Guard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death. No way. Can I ask him about her camera? Your neck? No. It's a joke, but yeah, ask me about things that only have to do with the case. Let's go to the detention center. I still need to ask On-Guard about some stuff, I think. The lawyer dude. What did you find out? Well, I'm still in the middle of investigating. I see. But I've already told you everything I know, dude. Can you tell me about your activities last night? After I got the award, I took a break and went back to my room. I had that post-ceremony stage show to do, so I was in my Nickel Samurai costume. You were alone the entire time? The manager was running around being busy, so yeah. Because of the press conference you were supposed to hold after the show, I told you, dude, I have no idea about any press conference, alright? Anyway, I noticed it was noisy, dead. Detective showed up, searched me, and arrested me. Nothing to do with anything. Yeah, this is the same thing as last time. Can you look at this? What do you think about this article? If you're talking about her thing of Juan, I always thought she was a bit careless in the way she handled it. And that's it. Really? That's my manager. Did you meet her? Yeah. What do you think? Strong woman, right? And she takes good care of me. You're such a mama's boy. Can I ask you more about him? Look, dude, I didn't kill him. I mean, the Nickel Samurai kicked the Jammin' Ninja's butt, right? So it's not like I felt threatened by the likes of him. Being rivals sounds like a sad way to relate to another person. Dude, I know I like to throw money around. Move. ask him about the guitar again. What can you tell me about this guitar case? Oh, that. It's just what I heard, pal. Looked for 2. Okay, let's go back to the hotel, I think. Would she know anything about this? Let's see. Do you know anything about tomato juice? Nope. Okay, showing her the crime scene also didn't do anything. Alright, let's go to Walla Hall. Maybe Powers knows something about these items. That guitar case, that was Swan's. I'm guessing you've seen this case before? It's pretty famous by now. It stands out because it holds the bright red guitar. The bright red guitar, the Jammin' Ninja's signature item. But if the guitar is so important, how could he forget it for the awards ceremony? That does seem a little strange. Sorry. Thanks for taking the time to take it out and show it to me. But I'm really sorry, I don't know a thing about it. That's nice, though. I can't believe it. A kidnapping? Do you remember what the person looked like who gave this to you? It was that bellboy, and didn't suspect a thing because he looked like such a normal old man. Old man, huh? Let's see. Did he give this to me? Maybe, I don't remember. Alright. Move. Go back to the hallway, I suppose. I'm a journalist. Learning youngsters. No, I just bought that camera. Who did it? The thieving rascal. Please don't look straight at me while you're saying that. And if you don't expect me to defend you. Okay, maybe because I suspect that Wendy has her camera. Let me ask her about it. This old granny? She kept on glaring at me with those eyes of her, as if it's my fault. Kept blabbling on how she won't forgive people who write trash about her Juan. Yeah, we sort of got into a little fight, you know. A little fight? Knowing these two, it's probably more of a blabbering contest. Guess you didn't take the bait. Let me just ask her about everyone. I don't think I did that. I don't really care for heroes or whatnot. Oh, I see. The shows they got for kids, those adventures are just plain old boring. Now, adults, we get more caught in messy, sticky, real situations. Even me. Oh? Sounds like Tyke's getting what I'm going with this. Wait a sec here. Don't go around getting her mixed up in things like that. Is this gonna be the same thing? Alright, let me ask about her then. Do you know anything? Told you how many times? Let's notice. Is there anything else in here? The robot bear wouldn't by any chance be a camera, would it? No. Okay, yeah. Also, so, know how the knife has his fingerprints? That's pretty easy. I told you I hate trifling matters. Okay, so she doesn't care. Yeah. Let's see. I was asked to become Mr. Onguard's manager. He's a pleasure to manage. Remember that? Yes, I knew him. The world's such a small place. I just have no clue what else to ask her, though. Trifling matters. Okay, she doesn't... So apparently all of these are just... Maybe she knows about this, yes. You were the one taking care of the arrangements for this press conference, right? Yes, that's right. But Mr. Ongart said he didn't know about it. Is that what he said? Huh? Actually, I didn't know all the details either. It was a request from the publicity department. All I did was help out and do what I was asked. Oh, I see. I wonder about that. Wouldn't take her to be the type of person to do something without knowing the details. So who... Maybe I need to go back to... Would she know something about this? Hey, what's that? A press conference ticket? How come I ain't got myself one of them? Please don't direct your anger at me. Why in tarnations wasn't I invited to that? I'll call someone on the bottom of the popularity chart like you got the info. But not me. Info like that is worth nothing to ya. Am I right or what? Is that the kind of person she thinks I am? Are you going to stand there and take that, Mr. Nick? Apparently I am. Could I ask Powers about it since he did give it to me? They call it this so suddenly that something about it just seems off, you know? You mean the press conference? Yeah, he said there's something I like to confess if I win. I heard he faxed his request for a conference in the office only yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah, that is kind of sudden, but I guess his manager set everything up somehow, so he's lucky. Nice manager. Let's see if Old Bag knows anything about it. I don't have anything to say. Alright. Let's go to Criminal Affairs Department and ask Gumshoe about the press conference. Ooh. Okay, so... Maybe the detention center? Dude, I told you. Okay, everything's leading me back to the manager, but I just have no clue who she would be doing it for. That's the one problem I have. I can go back here and... Actually, I'm also going to save again. Let's go back to on guard's room. Okay, if who would she have done it for? That's the question I have. Okay, I think I'm going to look this up since I've been standing around for a while. So I'll be right back once I do that. Okay, so I did figure it out. Didn't figure out everything. I just know that I'm actually supposed to be in the criminal affairs department, and then I need to show Gumshoe the article clipping. I personally would have never thought that, except when I was going through everyone and going, that's the only way I would have figured that out. We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves, the scandal of Mr. Cordata, but why? Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide. Suicide? Her name was Celeste Impact, and she was Juan Carda's manager, but they don't have managers. The victim's manager? But that's not all, pal. Miss Impact was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one. Her mentor, a woman who was both Mr. Cordata's manager and Mrs. Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case? Do you want to know more about her, pal? Please. She was the victim's manager and also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, but... Yep. I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another. Miss Von Karma, can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst. You don't? You don't mean... I do. Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's... Wait. Please wait, sir. If I don't get this month's pay, I'll start. Quiet. If it weren't for traitors like you, I would have won. Is that what you want to say? Who? That voice. Edgeworth? Ooh. It's been a long time, right? This person? This is Mr. Edgeworth? There's also like really celebratory music going on, which I'm just loving. What am I doing with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Francisca. You... How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it. You soiled the Von Karma name, dragged it through the mud. You even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are. Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way? Well, let's hear it, Francisca. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country. You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix, right? I will see you tomorrow, in court. It will be a clinical lesson in the meaning of total victory. I'm sure. Still the same wild mare she always was. I thought you, the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died. Mr. Nick, I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So, no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I'll say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. Working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. Just what is going on inside of his head? A lot of things may have happened, however. Manfred von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of a von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd be better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Francisca, she almost always says, I will defeat you this time, the instant she sees me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives. To save your client, you say. Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals, those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me, even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. It looks like there's still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot you have yet to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. Ooh. I did not mean to do that. I meant to press the other button. We are looking into leads. We can only look into a few key players with our limited resources. There's no reason for us to waste our energy investigating this person. Oh. Adrian Andrews. She holds a large secret within herself. A secret? You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her. Agreed. While I was abroad, these deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it. Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto. Refreshing? And what's so refreshing about a spring breeze? Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year. There is an interesting rumor about this man. You mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? That's pretty common tabloid fare, isn't it? I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found. Also, I want to ask him about Gumshoe. We are looking... Okay, so he will only tell me stuff like that. Actually, he probably knows something about her. We are looking into leads. Okay, so no. I guess I go back to the hotel lobby and then go talk with Andrews again. That's the only thing I can think of. But she's gone. Great. Looks like Miss Andrews isn't here. That's not good. I still have a few questions I want to ask her. She has that Psylocke on her heart, right? Well, we don't have much of a choice. I guess we'll have to come back later. Is there anything else left to see? No. Move. Let's go to the hallway. Is it possible that she's in here? No, I suppose not. Let me ask if she knows anything about Celeste. No, the answer's no. Don't tell me I needed to ask Edgeworth more information about her. Because I could totally see me having to have done that. I'm honored you're asking me, but I have no clue. I don't know, maybe Old Bag knows. Have nothing to say to us delinquents. Yeah, I have a feeling we're supposed to ask Edgeworth about her. This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Cordata's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Empok died. But her death was ruled as suicide, right? Yes, but there is still one riddle we've yet to solve. A riddle? Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Miss Empok's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that, there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. A suicide note. How do you know Miss Empok had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Cordata himself. The victim? He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Cordata hid his own manager's suicide note, but why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is a suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1? I guess they can't have the rest of it without the note. Deceased, found by Juan Cordata. Was her suicide note hidden? Can I ask him more questions about it? I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. First of all, there are reports that have multiple parts like this one. That is 2. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here's the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name is Adrian Andrews. Miss Andrews? What did she do? She tried to kill herself. She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews, she has a certain secret she's always trying to hide. A secret? Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews, dependent. Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. I feel like we're supposed to be leaving now. Hallway. Nope, she's still not back. Am I supposed to be asking him even more questions? I mean, I guess it would be too hard for Edgeworth to give me the second half, right? Two parts. Okay, I'm gonna go through this again. Okay, pendant nature. What was I supposed to... Oh, I was supposed to talk to him again. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Empok. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will, but why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Empok, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that... Is that what they call following someone to the grave? Wow, Pearl. After her attempt at suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can absolutely trust. And when she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others. Ouch. When Celeste Empok suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch black. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then that means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Can I read through it at least? I need to present this to him. Appearances can be deceiving. Such a cliche saying, but it's cliche because it's true. Miss Andrews, do you think that behind that unwavering brave front, she's been hiding this weakness and fear? Do I move on now? Dude, he knows nothing. Like I figured, just wanted to be sure. Now I need to go back here to go to the hotel. Please tell me I'm done with here and don't have to go all the way back again. This would also be the perfect time for her to magically show up. Oh, Miss Andrews is here, but it looks like she's talking with someone. That's Franziska von Karma. Miss von Karma? What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so... You've got some nerve following me around. Following you? That's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following. Pearls, you're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard. Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl. A tracking device? Really? What is that? An electromagnetic receiver. We planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know what that fool's every move. So that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for the poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews? Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. What were those two talking about? Miss Andrews? She seems a little dazed, doesn't she? I guess the only thing we have left to do is do this. Why was Juan Corda murdered? I have no clue. You're not that close. You're not good with being intimate with another person. Somehow I highly doubt that. Okay, show her this again. You and Mr. Cordata had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article? If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into the story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on her good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Me? Need to get close to Mr. Cordata? As if there was ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Miss Dada for this person's sake? Celeste Impak, your mentor. How did you know about Celeste? Miss Impak, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corda's manager. So, I believe you got close to Mr. Cordata so you could find more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. Miss Andrews? There's no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing. Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? Nope. I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. Because there was a suicide note hidden. Miss Impak's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Cordata. Juan? And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corda. I sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor, however. Allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. Didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give, however. I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impak was someone very special to you. The attempted suicide report. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through it with it too, didn't you? Went through with what? Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that is really just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. You were dependent on Miss Impak, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. Stop. When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report, the one that said the police suspected Mr. Corda of hiding Miss Impak's note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become one with the reason to want Mr. Corda dead. Me? Miss Impak was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even committing murder. Murder? Interesting. So is she the murderer? I mean, she has the most access to On Guard. It's true. I'm a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and you don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews, this one thing is the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. Probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews, all I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard someone had hidden her suicide note, and that someone was Juan Corda. Celeste. Without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me. So you got close to Mr. Corda to recover her suicide note, correct? Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposely added fuel to the fire, they would keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so I understand. Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews? If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. Alright, I'll understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first. Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something? What is it? Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hands since a little while back. Yup, I've been wondering about that too. That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding? Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag. It still looks like a shell. What is it? It looks like a seashell? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. Or not remembering something clearly. Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence. Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Ongard in your capable hands. Let's see. Well, I think we've gathered about all we can. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright? Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all of this. She hasn't slept at all and has been walking all over the place with me today. What's wrong, Mr. Nick? Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right? Oh, no. I'm okay, really. I'm fine. I really am. You don't look fine to me. Alright, let's go back to the office. Lobby. So, what now? Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive. You mean Miss Inpock's suicide note? That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever. Ah, Mr. Nick, the transceiver. Hello? Ryan Co. office. Mr. Attorney, you're not answering the phone. Maya? Where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time. Phew. Which is why I suppose she is absolutely famished. What? So I suggest you want a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost, wouldn't you agree? Wait, Maya, let me hear her. Very well. Ask Maya, is that you? Sis, ask my sis. Maya, darn it, cut me off. So Pearl. Or is Pearl going to channel her, I guess? Mystic Maya said, ask my sis, didn't she? Sis, what does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Sorry, Ack. Yeah. Mia, I have a message from Maya, so come ask me anything you want about her. It's still so weird that Mia's in the body of a 6-year-old. How's Maya? She's safe. for now. That kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe. But Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. Didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper, what's he like? I don't know. Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And she didn't see the face of her attacker. Ugh. Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? Interesting. Well, I'm going to guess the date is March 20th. Since today is March 21st. I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. What is this? Huh? Someone dropped a card here. Kinda looks like a business card. There's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. There's all sorts of things. It's too dark to see. Drat, it's locked. This door's locked seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Ah, that's it. This shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. Is it possible like it's a door key card? Like for hotels and whatnot? I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it. Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting, or worried. Wait, so Maya might have gotten the card to Adrian? Huh. Like, I still don't really understand what the bellhop has to do with anything. But currently I'm thinking that the bellhop's the murderer. I'm thinking maybe he's related to Inpak himself and really wanted that suicide note. So, like, I'm thinking, like, the way he was saying how I can assure you Engard didn't kill him, he's the killer. Other than the fact that he straight up told us that he's the killer. I think currently that's the only thing that makes sense. And I guess somehow Maya or Mia getting the card into Andrew's purse means something, or it means something about where she was hidden. I don't know, but we will start to figure it next time when we get to this trial. Still don't know how we're going to solve it in one day. That just seems crazy to me, but we'll just have to see. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!